Well, the number that's in the budget now is 305, which is coincidentally the exact same budget number that we had from last year. And I wonder if you're in a position, or maybe next month you'll be in a better position to amend that number based on actual outlook.
Would they expect, yeah, I think that outlook's gonna be weirder than ever.
Yeah.
But I can ask for sure, with the lack of federal.
I mean, I would remind everybody that this budget can be amended 12 or more times next year. I mean, we can, all right. We legally have to adopt a budget, but we can amend the budget as we go through the fiscal year.
Capital improvement?
Well, the only thing on capital improvements that we already talked about, I put in 150 for the addition. I kind of think it's low, but I won't know anything.
I guess I'd like to see what we're seeing before, or some documented plan as to what the numbers are. And I understand what we did for the parking lot. I think that would inform us as to how much is necessary to put in there. If we need 200, that's fine. But right now, we've talked about a park, we've talked about the back room, and it sounds like the number where we're at now may be close, and if we don't need it, we can use it someplace else.
Historically, the annual transfer didn't have to do with spending that coming year. It had to do with longer-term savings.
No, that's exactly my plan. I mean, that's exactly the point I was making on the roads discussion. We need to figure out what those are. Exactly. Yep. What are we planning for? Yep. That's what Mike was giving estimates and stuff. So, I'll use Tony as an example here. So Tony, if you looked at that same line number 4, you know, right now we're set up to try to cover the front load where we spend extra for 5 years, but the subsequent 5 years we start saving. So the subsequent 5 years is a little over 250,000 saving that we don't use for the entire building. Now these numbers can be adjusted. That the general tenant going in just get caught up, use Dan's language, on a one-off event, even though it's spread over 5 years, and then catch that back up from what Jeff was talking about. If we get ahead of it, maybe the maintenance costs go down each year, so we don't have to spend it. And that's really the job of the committee to determine and monitor. That'll be the building committee, not it.
Okay, anything else we should discuss with this? Okay. All right, so we move to agenda organization.
There's an amendment, right?
We already did that one, didn't we? Put it in my handbook.
Amendment for ZBA language by Sri.
That was E. Oh, I had that.
That's what we have to do.
Timing.
So I thought the agenda one was before.
Oh, you're right.
It is.
It is,
Okay.
sorry. Sorry, my bad. So who put this one on here?
I guess I might have something to do with that one. When we canceled our last regular meeting, or postponed our last regular meeting, I attended the Webster Township board meeting, and they have a three-touch philosophy on things that they vote on, and their process, I admire their process, and they don't have old business and new business on their agenda. What they have is discussion items, and they have action items, and the board has developed a discipline that, you know, people are not going to motion a discussion item because everybody understands it's a discussion item. And I just wanted to bring it up as a topic of possible changes to the way that we organize our agenda. We have always put old business first, and then we've done new business, and frankly, sometimes new business has been more important or heavy than old business. And so I just wanted to bring that up as a discussion item and a possible change to the way that we organize our agenda.
I'd like to add to that, John. I've always liked or wanted to have, after supervisors' remarks, comments by board members. Because part of the issue is, as we can see, by the time our meetings get over, most people have left and they don't get to hear our comments. So just if we had something to say, it would be nice to get it out front. I mean, to address, and then if we have something to say at the end, it would still be nice. But I'd like to see concerns or comments from board members added to after supervisor remarks. Doesn't mean we have to make them,
How about
but
after
if
call?
somebody has it, they can make one at that time.
How about after call of the public? The county, for example, I don't know if they still do it, the county commissioners have an opportunity to make comments on whatever they see fit.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't want it to devolve into rhetoric, and that's what I'm afraid will happen.
That's what does happen at the county.
And I don't want to see that.
What do you mean, Brett? Well,
Then it might turn into a back and forth.
no, I don't, well, we don't have to do that, but Tony did it tonight.
Might-
Comments that were made,
Tony did do it.
public comment, that we could make some comment that I think is constructive for the public. Doesn't have to be a debate that gets started, but I think there may be times when the public benefits from hearing our thoughts on a general point.
Either way, I'd like to move it up, and then
Yeah, I'd like to see it after call of the public.
I like that idea too. And if it doesn't work, if it becomes,
then we can switch it.
then we can move them.
That's what the gavel's for.
Yeah, might actually have to use the gavel.
Okay.
You can.
I don't think that's a bad idea, John, either, with you moving with new comment or new business in front of old business.
No, it was to get away from the whole idea of new and old and to go to action versus discussion or discussion versus action.
Do they have an order? Is it discussion first or action first? or-
You know, I can provide all of you with a copy of the meeting I attended of their agenda. There are a lot of things I don't like about their agenda, but that was one functional, significant difference that I observed. Their agenda was 2 full pages. I found it organizationally confusing, but the reality is that their meeting was done in 2 hours and they got a lot accomplished.
And I do like that we added action and discussion item on here. I don't remember that being there.
It wasn't there before. John requested it and Donna added it.
I like that.
It helps us to keep things straight.
Maybe I should wait for board member comment.
No, I like it, on the Dexter idea, I wouldn't want it to turn into having the same meeting twice, is the concern. There's been times where, especially back when I was a resident, I'm still a resident, but when I was not on the board, that I attended meetings, and I started thinking seems like the board forgot what they talked about in the minutes. And it all got rehashed again, and I was seeing that, that's what I'd like to try to avoid. But your point about everything else on that, with that caveat, I think it's fine.
I would encourage you to talk to and get to know board members from other communities. I can tell you that multiple board members from that board have all told me that the collaboration has improved and the quality of the outcomes have improved by their 3-touch method. So while I fully admit it may take longer, the quality of the work is better, and their consensus on their board strongly agrees with that.
And we're almost at a 2-touch policy now between discussion and action being added.
Yeah, what they'll do a lot of times, and I like it and I hate it, we use a consent agenda as it was intended to be a time saver, but we're not making decisions inside of our consent agenda. They actually will vote on their consent agenda, and they automatically then, by virtue of their consent agenda, approve the minutes, approve the agenda, and approve even spending decisions that they've made, that they intend to make. Now, any member of the board can pull out any element of the consent agenda as a separate item and pull it out for discussion. I think Webster Township is using it properly. I think the road commission uses the same tool grossly improperly. So it can be used well and it can be abused.
Well, I'd like to see what it looks like. You can give me a copy of it.
Yeah, I will. Thank you for the opportunity to speak about it.
So, now, I guess we can, now we have a request from Shreve.
Since it's the first time anyone has seen this, do you want to postpone it to the next meeting?
Honestly, I've not seen it.
I would like to postpone it. She didn't tell me why she needed it today. Like, some things I know are, I mean, I don't know if she did for you, but.
She kind of did. She has a person who's expiring, not the person, but their permit's expiring. And they
That
are,
really sounded like it.
I'm sorry, she's dying before she gets her permit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And
And now?
we were counting, you know, on our fingers and whatnot. This can wait until March,
Okay.
because the person's permit expires sometime in April,
Okay.
early April, but
Okay, so then let's not. We'll postpone.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, correspondence? Anyone wants to talk about
yes,
it?
in correspondence, you'll just see several invoices from our lawyers about several different topics. We didn't have any letters from the public for this time.
Okay, call to the public. You made it all the way through?
Peter Stevenson, Auditor Charles Lane. Just a quick comment on the road discussion. I've lived off of Jennings for over 35 years now. My experience, aside from, I don't want Jennings Road to be paved. I think it's probably one of the few roads in the township that needed, but probably cost about $4.5 million. What I would really love to see happen with Jennings Road is some kind of communication with the road commission so they don't come out and grade the road the day before it rains or while it's raining. I feel like that would be a huge improvement for Jennings Road. And at least, I guess, in my understanding, I feel like that'd be a very low-cost change to how they operate there. Thank you.
Concerns of board members?
I don't have a concern, except for that, I know, Tony, you mentioned the personnel policies needed work. How do we, I can do that, how do we want to go about?
What I'd like to do is to send you what the current iteration so far as I can find.
Perfect, and then we can see what's missing and what's not being anymore.
Up here, I'll offer that the paved roads, refresh everybody's memory, is $1 million a mile.
1.5 to 2, they said on Saturday.
It's more like two.
Close to $2 million a mile. And we had talked at the roads committee meetings when both commissions there about when grading is done relative to weather. And that's all I have.
Okay. All right.
Move to adjourn?